That's what you're on mute. So morning, everybody, and we're beginning in child's pose, as I said. If it's really good to feel your third eye on the ground, or if your third eye isn't quite reaching the ground, you can always get a block or a blanket so you can just rest your head on it like that. Or you could always put your hands, but it's quite good to have it on something else other than your body. And just really try and release to the ground. So today we're on the 4th, aren't we? Yes, 4th Niyama, which is the self sort of guidance about, about what we can do with ourselves to live our fullest lives and to live in equanimity. And today it's Svadhyaya, which basically means self-study. The word actually means self-study. So sacred study of the divine through scripture, nature, and introspection guides us to the supreme self. So basically, what we're believing is that there's our self with a little s, and that's really our physical form and our ego, and it's what we consider ourselves to be on a daily basis. And the small self tends to sort of judge everything, criticize, it fears and doubts. And it's also the cause of all what we call in yoga, the chitta vrittis, which are the fluctuations of the mind, which is the aim of yoga, is to calm all this down. So, and then the self with the capital S is the true self. And that's what we're trying to get to. It's the divine within us. Which then when we stop all this inner chat and the fluctuations of the mind, and by paying attention to ourself, our small self, studying ourselves, we become more aware of the things we do that harm ourselves. And also we become more aware of things that make us feel better and which serve us and bring us closer to that process of yoking or uniting us to our true self with the big S. So, and also the way we study, the way we practice yoga, even the physical practice, is quite reflective of the way we practice, practice life, the way we are in life. So it's good sometimes, so on the mat today in our practice, we're going to do a steady, slow practice. Some of the postures could be quite strong, but we're going to take time in between to reflect and to notice how we're feeling, how our energy levels are, if they change after doing certain postures, if our attitude changes, noticing our energy levels. So just allowing yourselves to completely release onto the mat, let your hips be soft. Just notice your breath. Notice how the body is. Is the weight evenly distributed on each leg and each hip? The arms nice and released. Can you feel the breath in the back of the body? Just scan through the body and notice that you're not holding tight anywhere. See if you can let go everywhere. So we're not making any judgments about any of this. All we're doing is noticing and witnessing. And then noticing your energy levels. Are you feeling agitated today, or are you feeling nice and calm? Do you feel a bit sluggish today, or do you feel quick and nicely full of energy. Just witnessing these things. And then really be aware of the third eye in contact with the ground. Really allow the hips to drop towards the heels and let the arms be heavy. And then just really slowly, slow, subtle movement. Just start to just take the hips gently from side to side, really small. So it's moving more the lower back. Just feel that little movement in the lower back. Breathe into it. And then just lengthen the arms forward a bit more. Really spread the fingers. Notice how maybe you can feel the movement now up into the armpits as you just sway from side to side. And then we're going to take that movement into those lovely hip circles. So you might want to bring the knees in a bit and just start to circle the hips. Notice how your spine is today. When the hips come back next time, let's go in the opposite direction. Bring the hips back, just lengthen the arms, spread the fingers, and then up onto all fours. That's it. Just notice that you've got the fingers really nicely spread and that you can feel the inner knuckles. You're pressing them in, you're pressing the fingertips in and the roots of the fingers. And then notice the front of the 10 toes, if that's comfortable for you. If it is comfortable to just have the feet flat on the floor, feel those 10 toes and the top of the feet. Gently draw the navel towards the spine. And we're going to come into some cat-cows. So think about leading with your heart. So as we inhale, we bring the heart forward and let it shine between the shoulders on the inhale. And as we exhale, we take the spine up to the ceiling and the chin to the chest. So inhaling, the heart comes forward, the hips rise, the abdomen goes towards the ground. Exhale. Navel to spine. So just carry on doing a few of those, really noticing the movement in the spine. Making sure you're not clenching the jaw, frowning between the forehead, the eyes. After this one, let's do one more each way. And come back to neutral. So let the neck be an extension of the spine. It's the crown of the head's shining towards the end of the mat. And then let's just circle the head here. It'd be quite nice to just circle the head around. And then the other way. Back to center. Take the chin to the chest. And then just take your gaze straight down to the ground. I'm going to bring the left foot out behind. Left foot out behind and press into the ball of the foot and engage all the muscles around the hips. That's it. And then we're going to raise that left leg up and bring the right arm up. And let's just take a few breaths here. Reaching with the hand, but keeping the shoulder away from the ear. Pressing through the heel. Pressing the top of the right front foot onto the ground and pressing the left hand into the ground. Reaching here, noticing the quality of your breath. Notice what starts to go through your mind as you start to feel like, hang on, aren't we going to put the leg and arm down yet? Just notice how you feel, how you react. One more inhalation. And let's lower the hand and lower the knee. Just maybe notice the difference between the two sides of the body. Bring the right foot out behind and press into the ball of the right foot. So that brings the engagement into the hips, into the legs. Raise that right leg up and bring the left arm up. Fingers nicely spread. Reach with the crown of the head as well. And then reach with the heel, reach with the fingertips, navel to spine. Notice the quality of your breath here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hand down and knee down. Take a breath. Take the hips back to the heels, back into child's pose. Just take a breath here. Notice what's changed maybe since we just did those couple of different movements. And I'm going to walk the hands back, tuck the toes under. And we're going to come into that high squat. You can just keep the hands on the ground if you wish. So first of all, just get your balance, maybe find your steady spot to concentrate on. And then maybe you want to bring the hands up to heart center. Oops, and just take a couple of breaths here. Press the palms into themselves. Feel that lovely length in the spine. And also take that moment to notice how you feel in this posture, how you're feeling about yourself if you feel wobbly. And then we're just going to bring the hands down and we're just actually going to come onto our bottoms and come into easy pose, Sukhasana. So we're going to sit here. This is another neutral pose. So the three sort of neutral poses are child's pose, Sukhasana. Remember, always raise your hips if you want to. And then, of course, Tadasana, when we stand in mountain pose. These are really good points to reflect on the practice as we're going through. So just feel the sitting bones. Feel that the hips and the shoulders and the ears are in rough alignment. Feel you're pressing down into the sitting bones. Arms are nice and heavy. The shoulders are relaxed. The crown of the head is reaching up to the ceiling. Bring the hands down by the sides of the hips. And we're just going to inhale and raise the arms up. And exhale, lower them down. That's it. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Take the right hand down, just crescent over to the right. Press that left sitting bone in. Let the legs really release. Breathe into that left side. Inhale, bring both arms up. Left arm down, crescent over to the left. Really feel that length in the waist, maybe. Opening of the armpit. Inhale up. Take the left hand to the right thigh, gently twist, maybe gently gaze over the shoulders, nice and soft neck. Feel the length in the spine and the twist at the waist. Inhale the arms up to central again and exhale right hand to left thigh and just gently twist here. Inhale, feel the length. Exhale, maybe feel the twist. Inhale, bring the arms up, reach up, and lower the hands down to the knees. And just circle the rib cage around the sitting bones. And then the other way. And then just take that moment again to sit, Sukhasana, easy pose, and just notice the body, how it's feeling now. After we've done a couple of twists, added a couple of twists to the movements. And then we're going to come back over onto hands and knees, tabletop first of all. Spread the fingers really wide again. Knees directly under hips. We're going to take the hips back to the heels. Let's walk the hands out onto the fingertips, the forehead to the ground. Press the hips into the ground, into the heels. Press the fingertips and reach them. And just feel that lovely length in the sides of the body. Breathe into the length of the back of the body. And then just lower the palms to the ground. Arms are shoulder distance apart. And then we're just going to rock up onto all fours, tuck the toes under and up into our first downward dog. That's it. And this is where we really want to be feeling the roots of the thumb and the little finger, and then pressing the inner knuckles in of the hands, the fingertips. So we're not just using the wrists, the waist and the wrist. And we're pushing the ground away and we're lifting the hips up. So we've got that lift in the body. Take the gaze towards the shins and then just start to really bend each knee and feel into the hips. And then come to center. Let's lift the toes up and spread them and then layer them down. And then come up onto tiptoes and lower the heels down. Up onto tiptoes and layer the heels down. And then just take a breath here. Remember, keep that lift in the hips, heels coming towards the ground. Feel the weight on all of the hands. Gaze towards the shins, taking the hips back towards the back of the mat. So we're creating that beautiful lengthened spine, opening in the ribs. Really breathe, as if the breath is reaching to the fingertips and the tips of the toes, filling the whole body up. And then we'll look towards the hands. We'll just step the feet towards the hands, keeping them about hip distance apart. Let's take hold of the elbows, nice bend in the knees. Just sway from side to side. Let the head be heavy, maybe nod and shake the head. And then release the hands and roll up to standing. That's coming up. Take your mind down into the soles of the feet and the toes and just feel the whole of the feet on the ground. See if you can press the feet into the ground. As you press, you engage the kneecaps, so you draw the thighs, engage the front of the thighs, draw the kneecaps up. Feel that you've got the pelvis. Just notice, first of all, that you're not sticking it one way or the hips out the other way. Find that central point, so gently lowering, lengthening the lower back. And then we want to feel that length in the sides of the body, shoulders heavy. Let's face the palms towards the front of the mat. Crown of the head is reaching for the ceiling. And just notice how you're feeling now that we've come up to standing. Have your energy levels changed? Has your quality of breath changed? Let's inhale and raise the arms out wide. Bring the palms together, cross the thumbs. Press the right foot into the ground, crescent over to the left. Inhale back up. Press the left foot into the ground, crescent over to the right. And then back to center. Press the palms into each other. And then exhale, lower the arms back down. That's it. Inhale, sweep the arms up again, maybe touch the fingertips, look towards them. And a little bend in the knees. Exhale, forward fold. Let's just take the hands to the back of the calves here and just gently draw the body towards the legs. Take the hips to the ceiling. Head's heavy, gazing at the shins or the knees. Notice the breath here. And then bring the hands round to the front of the shins. Bring the heart space forward. Shoulder blades come together. Nice half lift. Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, forward fold back into the Uttanasana. Let's step the left foot back and just have the fingertips to the ground. If you want to use bricks here, of course you can use bricks. We're drawing, bring that leg so that it's more towards the armpit, the right leg, so that you've got that space to just lengthen. That's it, drawing the hips towards each other. Just feel that there, that length. Press the right foot in, press the ball of the left foot in. And then we're going to flatten the hands down to the ground and step back into a plank. That's it. Press the ground away, draw the navel to the spine. And then lower the knees, lower the chest between the hands and bring the chin to the ground, 8-pointed pose. And then untuck the toes, come forward into that lovely low cobra, drawing the hands towards you, hugging the elbows in, nice long back of the neck. Exhale, lower the head to the ground, tuck the toes under, and take the hips back to the heels, and just take a breath here. Noticing the difference about when the toes are tucked under and when they're not tucked under. And then we're going to press into the hands and the balls of the feet and come back up to downward dog. That's it. Take the hips back towards the back of the mat. Feel all of the hands on the ground. And take a nice breath up through the hands, up through the body to the hips, taking the heels towards the floor. Then it's your choice here to either roll down onto the knees and bring the left foot forward, or bring the knee up close to the chest and step it through. So left foot comes back forward again, that's it. Draw the hips towards each other again, lengthen the back of the neck, press through that back heel, press into the left foot. And then we're just going to step that left foot forward, keep about a fist distance between the feet, forward fold, bend the knees and sweep the arms up wide, bring the palms together, exhale, hands, heart center. Lovely. And this time I'm going to inhale, raise the arms up, bring the palms to face each other. Bend the knees and exhale, reach forward this time. So really reaching forward, coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, bring the hands to the top of the shins and lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Going to step the right foot back this time. That's it. And we're going to lower the knee. We can untuck the toes. And let's bring both arms up. So we're in Anjaneyasana. And just pressing into that foot, pressing into the shin. Noticing the lovely opening across the heart area and the lungs. Inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands down. We're going to step back to plank again. So step back, plank. Press the ground away. Hug all the muscles to the bones. Lower the knees, lower the chest and the chin between the hands, 8-pointed pose. Untuck the toes and just scoot through to low cobra. Press the 10 toes into the ground. Exhale, lower the head down, tuck the toes under and hips back to heels again. Feel that lovely length in the spine. Inhale back up to downward dog and take a breath here. Feeling the toes nice and spread as well. Taking the hips back to the back of the mat. That's it. Then your choice again here to either come onto the knees to bring the right leg forward or just stepping that right foot forward between the hands. That's it. Lowering the knee down and sweeping the arms up. Opening up that whole lovely heart area. Reaching with the arms, feeling the space in the body. And exhale, lower the hands down. Tuck the toes under, back toes under.
Step forward again, back into Uttanasana. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up in front again. Feel that lovely standing length all the way from fingertips to soles of the feet. And then exhale, lower the arms down. That's it, lovely. And we're going to bring the feet and legs in really tight together now for Utkatasana. So squeeze the legs together. We're going to inhale, raise the arms up, and exhale, sit back, squeeze the legs together. That's it. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Inhale, raise the arms up. Back to Utkatasana, squeezing the legs, drawing the pelvic floor up. Inhale, up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit back, squeeze into Utkatasana. Inhale here, lengthen the lower back, lengthen the arms. And exhale, forward fold. Hands to the shins for the halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees as much as you need to just bring the hands to the ground. But we're going to step back this time into warrior one. So we're going to bring the left foot back and find our nice base, our nice steady base. So you might want to move the right foot out a little bit as well as the left foot out a bit. And then come up. Make sure you found the right place. Bring the hands to the hips. Really feel the outer edge of the back foot. Feel the whole of the front foot. And then let's just raise the arms up. That's it. I'm going to inhale here and exhale, straighten the front leg, bring the arms down. Inhale, warrior one. And exhale, come back down. And then we're just going to inhale into the warrior one and take a few breaths here. Press the feet into the ground as if you're drawing the shins almost towards each other, reaching with the fingertips and just breathing here. Notice, just hold it for a few breaths. Notice your reaction, thinking about holding it for a few breaths. Notice where you can soften into it a bit more, into the posture. Really lovely leg strengthener. And take two more breaths here. Maybe bend that front knee a little bit further, make sure the hips are in line. And after the next inhalation, exhale, reach forward, bring the hands each side of the foot, hop the back foot back. I'm going to step back to plank another time. Press the ground away, navel to spine. Lower the knees, lower the chest and chin, and then through to cobra. Exhale, lower the head down, tuck the toes under, take the hips back to the heels. Just take a breath here, let the arms release for a minute. Noticing how you feel after that warrior one. Real strengthening pose. And then press the hands into the ground, raise the hips up, nice downward dog. Breathe in up through the hands, through the body, down through the legs. And then remember your choice, however is good for you, to bring that left foot back forward, the left foot forward again. Hop the right foot in to find that perfect base, steady base for your warrior one. That's it. It's really feeling the toes on the ground, the heels. And then bringing the arms up. Keeping the shoulders nice and soft. Remember, you clenching your jaw. I'm going to inhale here, exhale, arms down, straighten the front leg.
Inhale, come back in. And then you can always do little adjustments when we flow in and out. And exhale, straighten the front leg, arms down. And then flow into the warrior one, holding it for a few breaths here. How do your fingers feel? Notice how your fingers, you might even feel sort of energy tingling around in the fingertips and the fingers as we hold the arms above the head. Really press the feet into the ground. Notice your breath, notice the quality of your breath. Sometimes when we hold postures, we tend to sort of like start to hold our breath a bit. Really keep the breath flowing naturally and softly. One more inhale. We're going to exhale, bring the hands down each side of the foot, and then we're just going to step that back foot forward into Uttanasana. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up wide, and then lower the arms down. And just take a breath here into Tadasana. Noticing how you're feeling. Notice the energy levels again. Maybe if you're feeling sluggish before, you might be feeling a bit more energized, or you might feel less energized. You know, it's just acknowledging these things and acknowledging your reactions to how you're feeling and to what the postures. Just feel the physical aspect of the Tadasana, of the mountain pose, so pressing the feet into the ground and reaching to the ceiling. And then let's just turn to the long edge of the mat and come into 5-pointed pose. And just bring the arms out, that's it. We're going to do Warrior 2 and Trikonasana here. So first of all, press the feet into the ground. You might want a brick. You might not need a brick, it's up to you really. So first of all, feel that 5-pointed pose. It's the weight evenly distributed on each foot. Really spread the fingers. And then lower the hands down to the hips. Let's turn the left toes out first. You might take that right heel out a little bit further. We're going to raise the arms up, fingers nicely spread, and bend that front knee. Want the knee directly over the heel, and then the ankle, and then just reaching between the hands. We're just going to breathe here, taking the gaze over the front middle finger. First of all, just draw the feet towards each other as if you're wanting to pull the mat into the middle. And then press the feet away from each other. So it's all happening inside. And then find that midway position. Draw up through the pelvic floor, through the centre of the body. Noticing that you're just allowing the breath to naturally flow. And then we're going to bring the right palm down, turn the left palm up, and let's straighten that front leg and just come back. And then back to the Warrior 2. That's it. Right palm down again, left palm up, straighten the front leg, open up, humble warrior, open up that side of the body, and then back to Warrior 2. Another couple of breaths here. See if doing that movement altered the position at all. And then we're just going to bring the hands down to the hips. You might want to just bring that back foot in a little bit for Trikonasana. That's it, so the feet aren't quite as far apart. You might want to have a brick at a height. You could have it on the outside today, or you might not even want to have that today. Let's bring the arms out. That's it. And we're going to take the hips back. So we're going to shoot the hips back a bit, and then we're going to reach forward, and then we're going to bring the hand down to the shin or the brick, stack the shoulders, and reach that right arm up. Maybe take the gaze to the right thumb. Same thing here, draw the legs in towards each other, press into that, and then press them away. Notice the difference that makes to your balance or your or the asana. And then just press the feet in evenly to the ground. Feel that length in the sides of the body and notice your breath. If it's not good for your neck looking up to them, you can always look forward, you can always look down. Inhale here, look up to the thumb. Exhale, look down to the ground. And inhale, come back up. Bring the hands down. Bring the feet parallel. Little bend in the knees and forward fold. Just rest the hands on the ground. Nod the head, shake the head. Just let everything loosen, maybe wiggle the shoulders around a bit. You might even want to take the weight from knee to knee, from foot to foot. And then roll back up. Bring the arms out loosely to that 5-pointed pose and just notice how the body's feeling after the Trikonasana and Warrior Two on the left side. Bring the hands down to the hips and we'll find our steady base. Turn the right toes out. You might take that left heel out a bit. Feel that the hips are still in line with the front of the mat. And then reach the arms. Let's spread the fingers today as well. And then bending that front knee. And so sometimes when you bend the front knee, you find you want to move the foot a little bit more. And just check you can see your big toe to the side of the knee so that the knee's nice and in line. So keeping your knees safe all the time. And then nice spread fingers. Just notice, first of all, where you might be really gripping and holding. And even though it's strong, and we're using our strength, just try and soften into the pose. We are pressing the feet into the ground, so we're engaging the legs. Press the feet away from each other and then pull them in towards each other. Draw the pelvic floor up. Notice your breath. And let's just take that left hand down to the right, left thigh. Turn the right palm up. Inhale, straighten the front leg. And just come back, reverse the warrior. Exhale, back to Warrior Two. Left palm down again, right palm up. And just lean back. So, and back to Warrior Two, just for another couple of breaths. Straighten the front leg, bring the hands down to the hips. And just bring the foot in, just shorten the distance between the legs a little bit because we want to have more movement in the hips and sides of the body for the Trikonasana. Press the feet into the ground, raise the arms up. Then we're going to take the hips to the left side this time. Reach forward and bring the hand. If you use the brick, the other side, use the brick again. Reach up, stack the shoulders. Notice the breath here. If you find that you're holding the breath or you're sort of not breathing properly, maybe you need to come up a bit. That's what the breath is the perfect guide for how you're doing. If you're pushing yourself too much. If you might take the gaze up to the thumb, or it might just be better for you to look forward. Feel that the neck is in line with the spine though. You could be leaning against a wall. Notice the quality of breath. Notice how you feel in this pose emotionally. One more inhale, look up maybe. Exhale, look down. Inhale, come up. Hands to hips. Feet parallel. And just bend to the knees and float down to the ground. Make sure the outer edges of the feet are in line with the outer edges of the mat.
And then release the hands and walk the hands forward. Bend the knees, stick the bottom out, the hips out. Just feel that lovely length in that forward fold. Breathe into that beautiful space in the back of the body. Walk the hands back so the arms might come directly underneath the shoulders, might even be on the fingertips, whichever feels better for you. Feel that length in the spine and press the feet into the ground. And then turn the fingertips round so the thumbs are on the outside. And maybe you can walk the hands through between the legs a bit, and the head's released, the neck's released. Just walk the hands through, press the hips up to the ceiling. Breathe into this stretch. And then walk the hands back. Come back up to standing. Walk the feet, heel toe the feet in. And just come to standing. And just notice how you're feeling after that standing flow. How do the arms feel? How do the legs feel? Does the body feel symmetrical or does it feel a bit lopsided? No right or wrong, it's just noticing and witnessing all these things. Before we come down to the ground, we're going to do one more thing. Let me think, is it better? No, we can always turn around afterwards, actually. So I'll do it facing you because it's sort of better. It's a form of Utkatasana with a twist. So you can either hold the Utkatasana or come into the twist. So we want to keep the knees in line all the time. So have the feet really spread the toes out, and just squeeze the legs together. And then we're going to inhale and raise the arms up. And we're going to sit back into that Utkatasana. Just check the knees here. Going to bring the hands down to heart center, squeezing my legs together. And I'm going to inhale and lengthen. And then I'm going to exhale. And I'm going to take my left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Check the knees again. And then I'm going to twist round, pressing the palms in, squeezing the legs together, sitting back, breathing here. Lovely, everybody. Couple of breaths here. Keep the knees together. Notice your breath. And then back to center. Squeeze the palms in. That's it. We're going to come up to center again. Reach the arms up. Maybe lean back, gaze up to the ceiling. And then sit back again into Utkatasana. Palms down to heart center. Squeeze the hips together, bring the pelvic floor up, squeeze the knees, and then we're going to take the right elbow to the left thigh and hook it round. So you're pressing it in, bring the chest, elbows are sort of stacked, shoulders are stacked, and breathe there, lovely deep twist. Lovely, everybody. Notice the breath here. And then release. Inhale, up to center, lower the arms down. Step towards the front of the mat. Let's just take a breath in the last Tadasana. So feel that the weight's evenly distributed on the feet. And just notice how you feel. It's quite a strong pose, that twist, the Utkatasana twist is a strong pose. Notice how you feel, how you feel mentally after that. Inhale, raise the arms up. Bend the knees. Exhale, reach forward, come down to Uttanasana. Last forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up to shins to halfway lift. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other. And exhale, forward fold. And I'm going to step back to plank again. So press the ground away. Lovely. And then just see if you can just lower yourself to the ground. And I'm just going to come into crocodile, hand on top of each other, heels drop out, let the body settle. Notice how your body is after the standing sequence. Can you particularly feel anything anywhere? How's your breath? What's the quality of breath now? And then just lengthen the legs out from the hips so that you're on the front tops of the feet. So the legs are pretty dynamic. Release the arms and bring the palms to face the body by the sides of the body. Forehead on the ground. And we're going to inhale, head up, right arm up, left leg, and just lengthen through that. Half locust. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, head, left arm, right leg, reach. Exhale, down. 2 more times each side. The right arm, left leg, shoulder away from ear, reaching with the foot. Keeping the hips nice and even on the ground, the back of the neck nice and long. I'm about to do my last one. And lower down. Notice how the body is at this point. And then we're going to inhale both arms, both legs, shoulders away from ears, reach towards the back of the mat with the feet and the hands, reach towards the front of the mat with the crown of the head. And release. One more time. Inhale, reaching with the crown of the head, reaching with the feet and hands. And release. Back into crocodile. Take the hips from side to side. And just notice the body here. Everything releasing forward. Lengthen the legs out again, tuck the toes under. Last strong pose we're going to do now. We're going to take the hips back to the heels, just lengthen the spine out after those locusts. Maybe take the hips from side to side. And then walk, keep the toes tucked under, make sure that the knees are about hip distance apart. We're going to do some dolphins here. So we're going to, a good way to do it actually is to take hold of both forearms, the elbows on the ground like that, and then release the arms and then interlace the hands. So you then have definitely got the arms shoulder distance apart. And then we press the sides of the hands and the forearms into the ground. And then we just raise the hips up and we walk the feet forward. And then we take the hips back. So really beautiful shoulder opener. And we're going to look towards the feet today. We're not going to move in this, we're just going to breathe here. So pressing into the forearms, taking the hips back towards the back of the mat, maybe lowering the heels. You don't have to keep completely straight legs. Then take the knees and just breathe. Notice how you feel here. Dolphin pose. Really lovely shoulder opener, arm strengthener, sort of weight bearing on the arms. Let's do one more inhalation here. And then bend the knees wide as the mat, big toes together, and bring the forehead to the ground again. You might want to really release the arms, just bring them to the sides of the legs, just release the arms. They're nice and heavy, so you're sort of releasing the shoulders here, whichever feels good for you. Maybe a couple of breaths with the arms behind. And just bringing the arms forward, and taking that moment to notice again. How is the body? How are your energy levels? What's the mind doing? Is the mind rushing around from thing to thing, or are you feeling quite settled into the run of the class? And then let's just walk the hands back. And we're going to come to sit with the legs nice and wide in front. That's it. Just feeling that length, feeling the back of the legs on the mat, whichever way you are. That's it. Let's just lean back on the hands, on the fingertips, just open up the front of the body. Just take that moment to feel the heels, take your mind up through the back of the legs, the hips. Do you feel you've got a bit more weight on one hip than the other? Or do you feel one hip more than the other? I think I can just feel my left hip more than my right hip. And then keep that nice length in the spine and bring the hands forward. And then we're just going to put the hands in between. We're just going to lead again. We're leading with the heart. Just walk the hands forward just a little bit. We're not pushing anything. We're just noticing the mobility in the hips and just to lengthen the lower back. And then we're going to walk the hands back. And then we're going to bring the left arm, the back of the left arm to the left leg. And we're going to just twist around and bring that right arm up, bring it right over. And just breathe here. See where else you can soften. Breathing into that length of the right side. Inhaling the lengthening, exhaling, we might be lowering a bit more. And then inhale, come up. We're going to bring that right foot in to the inner thigh of the left foot. And we're going to turn our body so that our sternum is coming, it's not right over, but we're just turning the body over towards that extended left leg. And then we're going to reach the arms up and just lower down over that left leg. Bring the chin to the chest. The chin into the chest. So we're lengthening the back of the neck. It sort of also brings the brain forward, and it means we're in a nice forward fold where we can relax. And this is a really good way to relax the nervous system. So we're lengthening out the spine, we're folding forward, really calming posture. But it is quite a strong posture as well. Breathing into that length. Try and keep that right thigh really released. And then press the hands into the leg as you come up. And take that right leg out again. And just bring the hands behind again and just notice if you feel a bit of a difference between the sides already. Bring the right hand, back of the right arm to the leg, left arm up, maybe press through the heels and just come over to this side. And breathing there, that's it. Take your mind up through the left hip, left waist, left ribs, noticing how much space we've created, and particularly the intercostal muscles between the ribs. Breathe into the length of the arm. And then inhale, come up. Bring that left leg in, left foot into the inner thigh. Lengthen the spine and just twist over so that we're sort of facing. So our gaze is towards the big toe. We're over there. And then we're going to raise the arms up again and just lower over that leg. So it's amazing the different feeling where we've got the leg, the extended leg. You know, this is completely different to when we do a straightforward Janusasana with the leg in front. Notice that, the way you feel it in your body.
Bring the chin to the chest. Take the breath, wherever you feel any tightness, guide the breath to that area. And exhale, feel like you're releasing in that area. Press the hands into the leg to come back up. And we'll extend that right leg out, left leg out again. We'll just bring the hands behind and lengthen the spine again. Just notice, maybe you feel that that's a bit different since we did the side folds and the forward fold. Might feel a bit more space in our hips or in our spine, or we might just feel exactly the same. And let's one more time walk the hands forward and just draw the heart between the hands. And then walk the hands back, and we'll just bring the leg, whichever leg you want to bring round, to come lengthways on the mat. Let's just do one Baddha Konasana while we're here. So let's bring the soles of the feet together so that we bring a bit more symmetry into the body. Flutter the legs, and then hands to either ankles or toes, folding forward. Again, leading with the heart. So we want to keep that nice long back. Nice long breaths here. And then inhale, come up, help your knees up. Walk the feet forward a bit, bring the hips towards the heels and lower yourself down onto your back. Let the knees drop into each other, constructive rest. And let's just take a breath here. So this is another nice neutral position to take time to notice how you're feeling. So we've only got a couple more things to do before we go into final relaxation. So just notice how you're feeling this far towards the end of the practice. We're letting everything settle to the ground. Let the skeleton settle to the ground. Let the body, the whole of the body just yield to the earth. And let's bring the knees up as wide as the mat and just do the windscreen wiping of the legs. And then bring the knees up and just walk the feet in so that they're about hip distance apart. You can keep them a bit away, or you might like to bring them in and just be able to feel the heels with your middle fingers or your fingers. And then just press the feet into the ground. Notice that you can feel the joints of the big toe and the outer edges of the feet. Have the palms on the ground. And we're going to inhale, press into the feet and raise the hips up. So the chest, notice how the chest comes to the chin. And then exhale, curl the spine. Notice how many of the vertebrae you can feel, vertebrae curling onto the ground. So we're going to inhale and come up again. It's your choice here. You can either just keep the arms where they are, or you can maybe take hold of the hands and wiggle the shoulders in, interlace the hands and press into the outer edges of the arms. So nice shoulder opener. Stay here if that's good, or you might just have the arms by the sides of the body. Maybe you'd like to try something else here. Maybe lift one leg up and press into the arms, press into the leg, the foot, the supporting foot. Bring that leg down, press into the arms. Notice the symmetry, first of all, in the body. And then raise the other leg up. Lower that leg down, press the hips up one more time. If you're holding the hands, release the hands and release the spine down to the ground. Take the feet hip distance apart again and just take the knees from side to side. Release that lower back. Lovely. And the knees back up to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Inhale, press the shoulders and the head into the ground. And exhale, bring the forehead up to the knees. And then inhale, layer the spine down as if you're making a bit more room in the spine as you come down. Squeeze the legs together and bring the arms out to a T. Inhale, feel that lovely space across the chest. And keeping the knees together, take both knees over to the left. Keep that right shoulder on the ground. Really allow it to release. Maybe use the breath to release it. So the weight of the legs is creating the twist in the waist. So this is setting the digestive system up for the rest of the day, giving it a nice massage. So lots of fresh oxygenated blood will rush there afterwards. And not only, the digestive system, it's also stands for, we'll be feeling strong and re-energized and ready to face anything that comes our way today. You might like to take your gaze over to the right. So you have a little bit of a twist in the neck. You might just like to look up to the ceiling. With every exhalation, just notice where else you can soften. One more breath here. And keep the arms where they are. Let's just bring the knees back up to center. Just feel the back. And then take the knees over to the right. And really allow that left shoulder to release. Maybe take the gaze over to the left. Notice the breath. Really feel the twist. Notice what your reaction is to the last posture of the class. I mean, the twists at the end can be really nice, really releasing and soothing. Or, maybe you don't feel that way. Just notice how you feel emotionally and mentally towards the end of the practice. And then let's bring the knees back up to center. Bring the hands to the knees. Let's just rock from side to side. Massage the back. And then just have the hands on the knees. Circle the knees around the sitting bones. Another little massage, getting into some more the edges of the back and the middle back. And then the other way. Bring the knees back to center and just give them a gentle hug in. And then we're going to lengthen one leg out to one corner, one leg out to the other. Bring the hands out away from the body with the palms facing up. Do get something if you're feeling cold to maybe cover yourselves with, or just allow yourselves to release to the ground. So we're now completely letting go of the practice. To help let go, let's take a nice deep inhalation in through the mouth. And really visualize that breath reaching every tiny bit of the body. And then sigh out through an open mouth. Let everything go. Let's do that one more time. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Allow everything to release. Notice that the legs are even, the weight's even on them, and they're completely released and heavy. Notice that the buttocks and the back of the hips are completely released. Just be aware of that gentle little curve in the back, in the lower back. And then feel the back of the ribs against the ground. Shoulder blades. Feel the arms completely released. Not having to hold anything. Fingers soft, palms soft, wrists released. Lower arms, elbows and upper arms. Not having to do anything at all anymore. And then just feel that nice gentle curve in the back of the neck and the weight of the head against the ground. Really allow the earth to completely hold you up. Not having to do anything anymore. And then just notice that the front of the body is nice and soft, that your forehead is really released. All the eyes, the muscles around the eyes are soft and released, and the lids are heavy. The eyes are just sinking back. And then take your mind to the hinge of the jaw, follow the jawline round. Notice that the jaw is really released. The lips are soft. And the tongue's just resting in the mouth. Throat soft. Across the collarbones is soft. Nice space among the heart and the lungs. Belly is completely soft and released. And the pelvis, the front of the hips. So the whole body is completely released, completely relaxed. Completely letting go. And I'm just going to read a poem which is very relevant to this Svadhyaya practice. And it's it's from what were called the Ball poets. They were they were considered mystic minstrels, which I really quite like, of the 15th century. And they don't really have any name. They were sort of like songs and poetry. But this is quite relevant to the self-study practice that we've done today. So, the body of man is a land for wish fulfilling. Care will produce a harvest of jewels. Plough it in at propitious time. Hopes that ushered you to this material world will bear fruit. Action is the steel for making your plough. Passions are the oxen. Sow your seeds on a ready land, and treasures will be yours at harvest time. So just very slowly and mindfully bringing your attention back to your environment, maybe noticing the sounds outside of your room, being aware of the temperature of the air, being aware of the four walls around you, ceiling above and the earth holding you up. And then just become aware of your own body. Maybe just feel the fingertips with your thumb. Just stroke each fingertip with your thumb. Just wiggle the toes. Maybe just notice the back of the head, gently turn the back of the head from side to side. And then when you're ready, bending the knees, placing the feet on the floor and rolling over to your side and taking a breath here. And then keeping your eyes at half gaze or closed, just coming up to seated, any seated position. And let's just take this moment when we've come up to really notice how we're feeling after the practice, how in comparison to the beginning of the practice, how we're feeling right at the beginning in that child pose, how we felt our energy levels were, how our breath quality was, how we were feeling mentally and emotionally. Just maybe noticing if there's any little change through doing our practice. And then let's just bring the palms of the hands together and let's rub the palms to create that lovely heat. And then place the palms on top of the eyes and feel that heat being absorbed into the inner body. And then gently opening the eyes inside the hands, bringing the hands down to heart center, the eyes open. And I hope you've all benefited from our Svadhyaya self-study practice today. Thanks for coming. And it looks like the sun's out of it again now. Have a good Easter, everybody.
Thank you, Mary. Happy Easter to you.
Thank you. Have a nice Easter and see you all next week.
Thank
Wednesday.
you.
Back to Wednesday, okay?
And we'll think about you tomorrow.
Thank you. Yes.
I know it's going to be a tough day for you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Mary.
Lots of love.
Thank you, Mary. Bye.
See you all next week. Bye.
See you next
Bye.
week. Bye.
Lots of love.